Good morning. We have a little visitor, Jelly Bean. He's being so fluffy right now. So soft. So sweet. It's a little dark in here. It's a little dry. It's a little poofy. I came home and I think I talked about this yesterday. I don't remember. Like cabin pressure in the plane made my sinuses explode. So I don't feel sick, but I feel like my body's doing something. And then with all of the trauma work we did on each other for a week, there were certain areas in my body that we worked on or worked with, and there were noticeable like changes happening in those diaphragms, those structures. It feels like, again, not making a clear meaning out of it, but from the inside, it feels like these structures are like recalibrating. So I don't, and this is very common after this type of work, is that the body continues to unwind, things unfold, recalibration, finding a new normal, the body refinding homeostasis after a disruption. And these are guided, intentional disruptions. Naturally, the body wants to disrupt the dysfunction to find a healthy normal. So I feel like the breath is more open, and all the constriction in my diaphragm, a lot of it's been like released. And I had a restriction way up in here. I've probably talked about this a while back, that I feel like I can never quite reach. Like if you had to try to reach it with a device, it'd be like, where is it? It's like way up in there. And through this like sinus disruption, it felt like this. Okay, so yesterday I had a series of like weird sneeze, cough. I've never had this before, but it was like a sneeze cough or a cough sneeze, and the epicenter of it was that spot, and it was like a shaking open of that spot, and I'm like, oh my God, I just am continually amazed in the best way, just like, oh fuck, wow, with the body's wisdom to like know what it's doing without us getting in the way. And I don't want to put too much meaning on it, like, because I just want to keep getting out of the way and say, hey body, do your thing, because that restriction has been such a source of like not being able to find my breath when speaking and when standing upright. Like I feel the constriction more when I'm upright trying to speak. I can't find my breath, so it's more comfortable to me in my body to be sitting and speaking. And right now I feel very like in the middle of that recalibration, so my voice feels a little like right in that spot. It feels like something is still working its way. It's unwinding. And I'm grateful for that. It's been a long time coming. So I'm not quite ready to talk about gaslighting. That was a transition. It came to me this morning like that it's an important topic that's been such a part of my own journey. Like the ways it's happened to me, the ways I've perpetuated it in my relationships. I think I've been a gaslighter sometimes. I don't have specific examples of either one just yet, but that's why I'm not ready to talk about it. But I feel like it's been a toxic trait in my life that I've received and that I've, like I said, perpetuated or reflected back at a person. Just sort of like it was done to me, so that's how we are in this relationship, sort of thing. It was like a learned behavior in my family. And I knew it didn't feel good, but it was effective, It was effective in certain family dynamics to keep each other, in line or in shame, It's like behavior influencing in a very passive, aggressive, shaming kind of way, So I'm not ready to talk about it. I wouldn't do it justice. Not even just like talking about its influences in my life. I feel like it's just like been some of the air I've been breathing my whole life. And it's toxic air, And so, yeah, something says it's been influential, and yet it's just the starts of the wonderings and reflections on it, not so much ready to really talk about it at any depth. So, I've been wanting to get back to the gym. First, I hurt my wrist. It's roller skating. It feels so much better. Oh my God, yesterday, a full day of work, I only felt a little twinge once, like, oh, don't do that again, like a certain movement. And then I went away to training, and now I'm back with this sort of like immune system response, trying to settle. Because I was all set to go last night, I was all set to go this morning. I'm like, I think that would be too taxing on my body. So and maybe that's why I was thinking about gaslighting, because like, I think I've done it to myself, this whole like, and yesterday I thought about this very thing too, like with all day long wanting to go to aqua aerobics in the evening. I was so looking forward to it. And by the end of the day, I was like, oh, my body feels like it's on this like tipping point of like, it just did a freaking week of trauma work. Like I said yesterday, maybe any one piece of that 5 days of intense trauma work, any one little sliver, you would say, okay, now, if they were my client, if I was my client, I would say, now treat yourself, with care, tenderness, whatever words would come for a particular person, that they would be able to hear. I would say, take care of yourself, self-care, be soft, be, whatever, like, just take it easy. This stuff as a way of continuing to unfold, unwind, recalibrate. And sometimes the body's immune system has a recalibration because it's been working so hard for so long. And then when we give it that safety and say, you don't have to work so hard anymore, a recalibration happens. And sometimes that presents as like this, whatever this is. It might feel like a cold, but you're not, but you know you're not sick. It might feel like a rash if we've been working with like the endocrine system, and it's like, oh, I know my skin is doing something different. Yeah, it's been working hard to suppress this. Let's let it move out. It won't stay. Don't worry. You're not going to have a rash your whole life. You're not going to have a cold your whole life. It's just a recalibration, right? It's like these reactions happen because, like in regular, without the trauma work, it's like we're adapting to our environment. Well, now we're readapting to safety. You know, we don't have to, the body doesn't have to work so hard to suppress stuff. So, anyway, that's just a little example of why it happens. But so I felt like that. Oh wait, I gotta like walk the walk, you know, of like treating myself right. So I'm like, okay, don't go put yourself in a class with 20 other people and use your body like to like work hard when your body says, can we rest for once? Can we just take it easy for once? So I had to be like, oh yeah, client, walk the walk, you know, walk the talk, instead of just telling other people to do this. Oh yeah, rest, drink lots of water, take care of yourself. So I had to do that again this morning. I was looking forward to going this morning, and I'm like, you know, obviously I should not do that. Be in a class with 20 other people. Even what I've been noticing are like more sensitivities with all that's been happening with my own work. It's like more guard is being, more defense is being dropped in a good way. So there's more like sensitivity to my surroundings and to the people I'm near. And so it feels like, oh, yeah, just more sensitivity. So I feel like being around a whole bunch of people right now, maybe not a good idea. I just went through like airports and being in close proximity and being in like sterile, dry air, not natural air. It's like, now that I'm out of that, it's like, oh, I'm back in my home environment, and my body's like recalibrating this new felt, all these new felt senses that I came into contact with in the last week, now back in my natural environment. I'm just meaning making, but that's what it feels like. Like the truth of it feels like, oh, let's allow this to continue to recalibrate, like gently, instead of with 20 other people when I'm jumping up and down in a pool, getting my heart rate up and like. So I'm a terrible client sometimes. I'm trying to be a good one for myself. Do you ever feel that? Like, we won't talk about gaslighting directly, but I feel like the way I've done it to myself is like back to that whole suck it up buttercup mentality where it's like, oh, I can push through anything. Like, what are you doing? This is just nothing. It's not even a cold. You can push through. Don't be a baby. Like, I wouldn't have overtly shamed myself that way, but I would have like pushed myself into exertion. When it's like, wait a minute, who says I'm an adult? My parents aren't here. No one's telling me I have to push. But there are subtle ways that the self comes in to shame that. Like, oh, you can't rest. You can't rest. Isn't that weird? To allow rest? Like, what's wrong with that? Now, I know not all of you have done that to yourselves, but some of you might have and can resonate with it. Because some people are good about resting, and those are the people, oh my God, throughout my life, I've been simultaneously jealous of and mentally like shaming, you know, because that's the thing that was never allowed to me from my upbringing and therefore then myself. So it's that same mirroring thing that happens, like, oh, I'm so jealous of their ability to rest, you know, and like, but then that's lazy. Don't be lazy, you know. So it's like, yes, I've dealt with this in my life. It's just something that when these moments of like vulnerability in the body are felt, that old whispering, it's not even mental anymore, because I know I'm good to rest. Like, I allow myself rest these days. But the first instinct sometimes is like, no, you can do it. Go ahead. Push through. And then it's like, no, it's okay to rest. It's okay. And you'll feel better for it. And you know what? Your aqua aerobics will be there Tuesday. You know, like next week. It's just one of the, and then the little thing that says, oh, bummer, you don't get to do it for like 4 or 5 more days or whatever, you know. And then it's like, who made that a reason to be bummed? Right? This is the mind doing mind things, like still trying to make itself feel bad. Well, it's all nonsense, isn't it? So that's a little bit like gaslighting the self. So see, I'm not quite ready to talk about. I think that'll be the title. Not quite ready to talk about gaslighting is almost like I'm gaslighting myself in saying that. So funny. I did Google. I'm like, hey, where does that term even come from? It's from a 1938 play called Gaslight, apparently, Google says, where the husband, there are these lights powered by gas back in the day, right? Gas lights. So he apparently slowly, gradually adjusts the light. My wrist popped. It's the good wrist popped. To turn down the light a little by little, making the wife feel like, oh, the light in here has changed. And he's like, no. Apparently he's like denying that it's changed, even though he's purposefully like turning down the light. And she keeps saying like, it's changed. And he keeps telling her, no, it hasn't. So that's the synopsis I read anyway. So I'm like, oh, yeah. It's kind of like I've done that to myself my whole life. But I'm not quite ready to talk about it. Oh, that's funny. I could probably spend a whole hour talking about it, but myself will say, don't come in and talk about it. You're not ready. You don't have enough specific examples. Like, or it might shame myself and say, your examples aren't big enough. Like, it's worse. There are worse examples in the world. So yours aren't worthy of being talked about. It's such a, I'm so glad there's that term is in the public awareness consciousness now, like that it's a thing. I wonder if it came out with like more about the Me Too movement, you know, some years back when that fired up more, like fired up, that's a funny word for the gaslight analogy. I wonder if that's like when it started becoming like more in our awareness, and I'm like, oh my God, because gaslight, I'm not ready to talk about it, but it feels like the nature of gaslighting is like making us question our own sanity, our own instincts, our own history, stories, our own felt sense, our own truth. So it's like, prior to becoming aware that it's an actual thing that happens, gaslighting, it's just the air we breathe, right? It's the nature of the reality we move in. So we don't question it. It's back to that fish in water, though the fish just can't point at water and say, oh, that's water, because it feels like just my reality. It's not separate from me. I am a part of it. It is a part of me, therefore inseparable, therefore invisible. But I'm not going to talk about it. So I think I'm going to go now, because I'm going to listen to these birds some more in the quiet.